Okay, I'm still working on the 57. I started in the front, worked to the back, and then I'll work from the back to the front. I needed to get the tires off of it to put brakes on the back because the buddy that got it on it originally hadn't put the brake shoes on. So I pulled the tires off, and it was a little bit of a hassle getting this thing jacked up high enough to get the tires up. He didn't leave enough room to get the tires out easily. So when I got back in here with the tires off, then I could see the things that I need to do, like I need to do body work in here and finish up what he was doing up in there, just for the heck of it. Nobody will ever see it unless you take a tire off. So that's after I get the rear end back up, I'll do all this and then put the tires on. But this thing, you can see how narrow it is. I didn't even think how much, see how much they cut it down, but across from backing plate to backing plate, we got 31 inches. And you can see where they cut the pieces out of it and narrowed it, and then back halved it. And the guy, he did an okay job. There's nothing wrong with the workmanship that he did. It looks pretty good. And so, like I say, the next deal is to get the brake shoes on it, then finish up back here, which is going to take a week or so because there's a lot of work back here. But I got the fuel cell in and all that. And the way I had to jack this thing up above the tires, like here, where I could get the tires out, and I had to go straight out with them. And that was a little bit of a tussle. I had to unbolt the coilovers. They were bolted here and here, and then jack the car up off of it. The rear end stayed in position, and so pretty well done there. I'm getting closer. I put the battery cable in, came in from up there and grounded it here. So had to build all this in to get the fuel line out, and didn't leave me any room to put the fuel line. Kind of a mess up there, but I got it where I think it'll work. So this is where we're at, and I'll be able to walk down here. I first jacked it up, let me see, on this, but then what was happening, I jacked it up on this, and what was happening, the car was coming back, rolling back as I jacked it up, and I couldn't get it up high enough. So then I had to go out to the side and jack it up on each side to get it up high enough. Then I put the jack stands. I got 2 jack stands and the jacks on each side just for safety, because I sure don't want this thing to fall. If it fell, there would be a lot of work to redo in here. So I made sure it's, at this point, not going to fall. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I think it's important not to fall.
Yes, yes, especially if you're under it.
These are the wheels?
Those are the wheels.
You really get a picture of how wide they are.
Yeah, let me turn it around where you can see it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And,
Put your hand on it. There you go.
yeah, let me get the ruler. These came with it. I think they're kind of neat. I would have done it a little different, but if you go from bulge to bulge, they're 22 inches. Across the tread, they're 19 inches. And he bought 19-inch rims for it, so he was looking at the inside of it. Okay, we were at the wheels when the camera cut off, but since the last part that I was showing, I put this tires back on the rear end and set the car back down. The car is back where it's supposed to be, and I'm getting closer and closer every day. But they were a little bit of a pain in the neck to get on. Fortunately, I was here and I was able to roll them up on it, but I had to pick the car the body up to here, I had to disconnect the coilovers to slide the tires in, and it was a job for an old man, but I managed to get them in. So they're all ready to go, and then we'll move around here to the front, and we'll show you. Okay, this, obviously the front end of the car, the engine with the tri-power, 390 board, 30 over, and I had it running for just a few seconds, and I didn't have the radiator in it. But when I was restoring old NASCARs, I bought a car and I got a bunch of parts, and it was all Chevrolet NASCARs. Well, I got a brand new aluminum radiator for it, and this is a super speedway radiator back in probably the 70s, and never been used. But the problem is it's a Chevrolet radiator, so I've got to cut this off, the neck off, and move it over here for the Ford. And then I got to cut that one off down here and move it over here for the Ford, because the Ford comes out down here and it comes out and comes into here. And so I've got the water necks ordered. They should be in here within 4 or 5 days. And one thing that I found in my store of parts, I forgot how a 390 normally fits a expansion tank on the car, and this is going to work out great. This, the gooseneck thermostat housing is right there. Well, this fits there, and then this sits down like this. This hose goes into this one. So you got a little reservoir here with an overflow here, and that'll clear the hood. So that's what's next, is getting this done, the radiator and that. I don't know if we talked any about the wiring, but I've pretty much got it done. I've got to wrap these wires coming out of the firewall here to the solenoid, and I leave the alternator unhooked until I'm ready to run it, because I don't want to burn the thing up. But I've got all the wiring done. This was a challenge for me. This is all the wire for the front of the car, the headlights, the turn signals, the ignition. Ignition's all hooked up, but everything that goes up front is right here. Then I got in the car, if you want to come around here, Emil. But I've got all the wiring inside done, the gauges done, and the steering column done with the turn signals and everything in it. But I put the fuse panel right here, and I have it, this wire on the floor there, one wire, the white one's for the windshield wiper, one is for the bright light indicator, and the other two are for the turn signals. And I'm just trying to determine where I'm going to put the lights at now, but it's pretty well done. Then I came back in the car, and all the little yellow tape over there was where there were little small pinholes, and I put it on, first I put it on the bottom, then I put it on the, first I put it on the top, then I put it on the bottom and bondoed over it, and that way it makes a smooth finish underneath. This will all be covered. So I'm close, getting closer.
Looking good.
Yeah, so that's where we're at right now.
All right.